What's going on, fellas? Oh, nothing much. Just got one of the finest machines that the good Lord has ever graced this world with. You know what I'm talking about. One of those ones where when you was 5 years old, if you had some gas and enough strength to pull the pull cord, then you would go about 10 miles an hour down the road. You thought it was the coolest thing ever. Yep, that's right. We're going to be working on an old Manco go-kart. It's got the gas tank, electrical taped up here. The seat's completely gone. The carburetor is just leaking gas everywhere. And we're going to see if I can't get this thing at least running and driving by the end of this video. Might have to end up doing something for a makeshift seat, but it'll be all right. Hello, hello. Yeah, it's got a little water in it. It'll be all right. Welcome to the channel. If you're wondering why I picked up this piece of junk, I'll tell you that here in a minute. But while I'm at it, I can't forget this. If you're new to the channel and you just popped onto this video, make sure you subscribe to me. Leave me a like, put some comments down in there after you done watch the video on how you like it or what I could do or what I could change. Make sure you smash that bell. I don't know what it does, but it does something. So that way, y'all can get some more of this cornbread content, and I can keep on pushing it out. Now, the reason why I bought it is because my daughter's birthday is getting ready to come up. Now, it's not her style. I'm going to have to paint it and everything. But I got it because it needed a little bit of work. And I knew it wasn't going to take much because it already runs, but it needs a throttle cable. I don't know if the brakes work, and it needs a seat. But if I can get all that fixed, we'll be doing all right. It's a Manco Dominator. And I'd say back in the day, it probably dominated the streets. I don't know how much dominating you can do with 5 horsepower. Robin Subaru. Got a Subiwoo engine. It's got a clutch on this side with chain. And then that chain going to another chain. And then going to a brake. And it's a one-wheel peel. Seat belts. Who needs seat belts on a 5 horsepower go-kart? This thing probably don't go that fast. Well, I think the brakes work, but as far as the throttle, I don't see it working that much. I think the first place we're going to start is the motor and just go over it and see what's going on there. And try to figure out what's wrong with that carburetor. Well, you can already tell the filter in the top where the filter goes just gone. Missing a bolt right here. That's fine. Well, I mean, if it works, is it stupid? I guess that's what we got going on there. You got a kill switch right there. And then you got something going on over there. And the wire is leading back here somewhere, so I don't know what's going on there. And I'm just going to show you what this thing does when you turn on the gas. Well, if I turn it the right way, there we go. Okay, there goes the gas going into the filter. And then, wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. I think we might have some water in that gas. So we're going to have to get rid of that. But we're just going to pull it as it is and see if we can get something to fire off. if I was a kid, I would love the flames on this thing. But I don't think my daughter's gonna like it too much. All right, which way is it that we're supposed to go? What are we supposed to do now? We're just gonna do that. Then turn this on, see what we got. Maybe not. See if we can open the throttle. All right now, come on. What's going on here? Are you the culprit? Phew! See if we got the start juice over here. No, but we got a little mixed gas, I think. Yeah, mixed gas. All right, let's see what it does. There we go. She tried. See if we can do it again. Oh. Well, it don't seem to be leaking. Let me catch my breath for a minute before I do any more talking. Whew. I think we ought to take this gas out and put some fresh gas in it and see what that does. Let's see what we got going on here. Come on, you devil. Think I got that turned off. Yeah. Well, that went flying somewhere. Probably won't be able to find it. Oh yeah. Gas just ain't no good. Whew, no. Ain't got no potency. Oh, come on now. See if that helps. Okay. I think it will be good enough. I would show you this, but it just wouldn't do it justice because this is what I used to change oil in, and it already had some oil in it. But just what was coming out of here, I mean, it was almost more like water than it was gas. This gas is about 3 months old, so I know it's fresher than what was in it. Some people would just open up the line and just go ahead, get on out of here. Some people would just go ahead and start it off of that, but I'm gonna let it run out a little bit so that way I can get all that junk out of there. All right, that will be good. Now, I just gotta go over here and find wherever that stupid spring plate is. That it? Ah, no, it's just a rock. Where in the world are you at? Dadgummit. Oh! Looky there. If it had been a snake, it bit me. No! Now, some of you out there in old YouTube land is probably thinking right now, what in the world am I watching? This guy don't know his butt from a hole in the ground. Or you might be saying that I'm a few French fries short of a Happy Meal. And to that, I would say, you're probably right. Gas on. Okay. some of this, you'll be all right. Come on. There we go. Come on. Woo! I don't think it's going to happen that way. And I'm wore out. Whew. So I guess the next step is pull that stupid carburetor off this thing and throw it in the woods and get another one. No, you can't do that, Brandon. Why not? Tired of pulling that stupid string. Because you want to save money. I could give two craps about saving money right now. Whew, I'm more worried about my health. Woo! I'll quit whining. Go on. You need some exercise anyway. So if you got the same kind of go-kart that I have right here, you're wondering how to take this off? Well, these two nuts, not sure about this one on top. These two are 10mm. It's a small one. I know that. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this carburetor off here and see what I need to do. All right, so I got this thing off, and you can just tell from what's coming out of it that it just looks like, oops. Well, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Oh, it's fixed. It'll be all right. What was coming out of it looked like straight up water. Hardly any gas at all mixed in with that. Let's open up this bowl and see what we got here. Okay. Huh. Ew. Yeah. Yeah, it's got some nasty stuff in there. It seems to be doing its job. Needle valves, needle valving. Not unless it's got a piece of trash in there, but I think it's working. If any of y'all know what this weird looking contraption is right here, let me know, because I have no idea. See if this will fit in here. Nope. Need one smaller than that. All right now. Am I going to have to get a bigger one? Look at this. You see how it has these small holes? Well, it has an even smaller hole it has to go through up top. And just something as simple as water, like say that got in the bottom of this bowl. See that mess right there? Could get in here and stop any of these holes up and cause your carburetor to not run properly. I'll be daggone. See if this will fit in here. Well, I'll be dipped in dog crap. No. Well, we'll just take care of that right quick. Yeah, that ought to be good enough. Looky there. Right in there now. Sometimes you just have to make your own tool. Good Lord give you some brains for a reason. Amen. That right there is one of the biggest things I'm after. Because it's got a blue million of them holes, and it probably needs to be cleaned out the most. So, Brandon got the carb cleaner. Cleaned out all these jets, all these little orifices. About every one of them was dirty, but I sprayed them and made sure that they was all spraying out good, and they was. Cans of carburetor cleaner, man, they do exactly what they say they do. They clean the carburetor. Now you can tell inside of the bowl, whenever I was spraying inside of there, you wouldn't think it'd have been that dirty, but man, when I was spraying in there, just the brown stuff that was coming off that, you know, you really couldn't wipe off with your finger, but that carburetor cleaner eats it up. That's funny. I was just noticing a problem when I set this bowl on top of where it's supposed to screw down on. you can tell it ain't sealing properly. We're going to have to fix that. See if that fixed it. Oh yeah, that's a whole lot better. So it's flushed down on there now. Might have been the reason why it was leaking in the first place, and I just never realized it. But now that I got the bowl back on there, I'm gonna take some carb cleaner and try to clean up all this crud that's around here and really get in the throat of this thing and spray it out. I almost wonder, because see the fuel comes in there, if this thing has something to do with the fuel shut off. Like if it actually shuts off with the carburetor. That'd be pretty cool if it did. I think it might do it. Like down is feeding, and then over here is closed off because it's blocking off that top hole. Because there's only 2 holes that's open in here. That's pretty cool. But I could be wrong. If that's not it, please let me know. Alright, I reckon it's time to test her out. Choke is on. We're just going to pull it a few times. See if we can't get this thing to bark off. Whoa. Turn the choke off, see what it does. Uh-oh. Okay, turn it back on. Yeah, it wants to go for sure. It usually don't work that good for me. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to do now. This throttle cable that's hooking this on, woo, it's already hot. It's a little janky, so I'm gonna put it back up here and bend it a little bit, and then see if I can't get some adjustment on this carburetor to turn the idle down. And I don't know what to do about an air filter just yet. I know I need one, but there ain't no use in putting that thing back on if I can't find a top for it. On, shuts off. Beat that. Hold on. I want to see if that's a fuel shutoff. Might take it a minute. Okay, told you it'd take a minute, all right? Okay, turned it back on. Might take a few pulls, but let's see if that done it. Okay, so I'm thinking what happened is when I use this fuel shut-off valve right here, I'm guessing that it pulled some kind of trash out of the bowl. Could have just been a very little tiny piece of sediment. Either that or this thing just needs to be badly adjusted. It was running good, but you know what? Just for safe measure, I'm gonna turn this fuel air mixture screw out. I'm gonna turn it out 3 half turns and then scoot this thing back up here and see if that helps it any at all. So if this don't work, I know we need to take it back off and hit it with some carburetor cleaner again. See what it does. Okay. Here we go. So here's where we're at. I have tried to get this cable to work. I even cut the zip ties. I even tried to put it through the hole that it was meant to be. Measured it up here, put a hose clamp there, put a hose clamp there, then tightened it down here and put a new bolt right there because I couldn't get the other screw tight enough. So I put one with an 8mm head on it that fit it. It's a little bit long, but it worked and it held it down. But it's just not working like it should. I have to force, the pedal forward. And when I force the pedal forward, then the cable in the back seems to want to slide all the way over and just not give me any throttle at all. So I think what I'm going to do is I blowed it off a little bit. I'm going to air up these tires. And I'm just going to give this thing a little test drive and see if I can't throw my hand back there and work the throttle and see if its brakes work. And then I'll order a throttle cable for this thing. And then I'll start taking this thing apart and see how I'm going to fit that fuel tank up and get this thing painted. Now don't laugh at me when I get this thing. Woo! Too fat for this. Hey, baby, ride this thing.
I have to get Zayden. I'm gonna ride it.
Yeah,
you ride it.
I can't. I'm too fat.
Which one's the gas?
There's the throttles. You'll have to. I just need to test it. I can't do it.
Am I gonna die?
No. Here's the gas. You're gonna have to reach back here and press it.
I know you're lying.
It ain't that hard. Ready?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, I have the brake on. There's your test run. Am I in this video? I better be getting sponsored. that thing's too fast.
It ain't too
The wheel
fast. That's
You
just
don't see me all the way up there skitting? Is that on video?
Well, that was a good enough test if I ever seen one. It's a runner, but like I said, we need to get something done with this fuel tank. We need to do something about this seat. I'd like to get that kill switch on the steering wheel off because it don't seem to work half the time anyway. But I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I know I need to go get some paint. I've already ordered a throttle cable kit. I actually found an air intake kit on Amazon, and it said it was for the 212 Predator motors, but the gasket set looked about the same as the gasket that was on that carburetor, and it has like this adapter, then it has the hose, and then it has the filter that goes on it. So I think that'll work pretty good. But I think I'm gonna clean some of this stuff up, go get me a bite to eat, take it easy for the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys, so it's the next day. We got a lot of work ahead of us to get this thing done. I went and picked up a few things at Walmart. And before I paint it, I got to figure out where this gas tank is going to go. And I don't really like the fact that it's over top of where the seat is going to sit now. So I'm thinking if I could come back here behind the headrest. I got some rebar. I know that sounds redneck, but it's what I got. Take some rebar. This thing's got 2 indentions on the side of the tank, and maybe I can make the rebar, you know, like a square, so that way the tank can sit down inside there. Take another piece of rebar and, you know, go around it, drill a hole through it, and then put it through the back side of this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet. I have a lot of work ahead of me to get this thing stripped down to where we can paint it. But that's enough talking. It's time to get to work. Well, I got it torn apart. I could probably fit in it pretty good now. Put a 2x4 down there where the seat was. I was trying every way I could think of to not have to mount that gas tank right there behind the headrest. And I know I should probably spend a little bit more money on it. I think she'll be surprised with it. And I think this will motivate her a little bit more to get in tune to what I like. And if that happens, boy, her mama's really going to hate that. Because not only will she have to put up with my habit, but she'll have to put up with Zayden's and Genesis and Hezekiah's when he gets old enough. And if she watches this in the future, which she might, just know that I love you. Don't hurt me when you see this. And I'm the one that, you know, caused the yard to be filled with junk that I and the kids now own. I got the flat disc that could go on the grinder, but you know, I almost wonder if it would eat at it too much, eat in too much into the metal, and you know, I just want it to look the best that it can. So I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to remove it with a little bit of heat, or at least it'll break it down enough to where it'll just easily come off. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to heat this sticker up enough so that way all the adhesion properties that it has underneath of it will just kind of come loose. And then whenever I take the drill or the flat disc, whichever one it may be, and try to scrub this off, it won't take me as long. Well, I'll be dipped in dog crap. That worked out better than I thought. At least I know what to do now. Heat's the trick. Okay, so here's the first coat. I think it's looking pretty good. I got most of the adhesion off. I wouldn't say I got it 100%, but I think this paint will stick to it. After I lay down a couple of coats of hot paint, then I'm gonna hit it with this glitter clear sealer, and then I'll go over it with the gloss clear. Probably one coat of this and then one coat of this, and it should be fine. This is the color green that I got. It's pretty limey if you ask me, but it says it's jungle green, but I ain't never known no jungle to be that bright. And this is the metallic dark metal. I think it'll do just fine. Now it's getting pretty dark outside, so what I'm probably gonna have to do is do one more coat of this. I plan on taking the go-kart, putting it on the back of the trailer, strapping it down, and bringing it back up to the house. So that way I can hook my trailer on my Tahoe and take it to the car wash and spray that thing off real good. Get all that built up grease and junk and everything else that's on there off of there. But as far as today, I got a late start on trying to get things done. I had to bolt everything down, worked hard trying to get all this done, and man just ain't got enough time, so I guess I'm gonna have to get back to you when I get back to you. All right, guys, so I figured I'd give you an update. This is probably gonna be the last update until I get this thing done. I'm just gonna show you what I got going on, show you the few things that I've done off camera, and after that, I'll get back to work. So I went ahead and got the motor out. Spent a little bit more money than what I should have because I bought a gas tank. But the problem is the gas tank's supposed to be turned around this way. Well, I can't do that because right here where the governor is, it hits that little filter that goes on the bottom of this tank. And then this little nub that sticks up right here, the hole's in the wrong spot in the tank because this tank is not made for this motor. The tanks that are made for this motor are like $70, $80 is like the cheapest ones I found on Amazon. This tank was like 30 bucks, so I'm gonna take 30 bucks and I'm gonna make it work. Now this tank, I don't feel like it's too safe like this, so what I'm gonna do is get a piece of angle iron, and then I'm probably just gonna drill a hole and just let it sit on the bottom on both sides. And I think that'll be, good enough for this. She might not be able to put her seat all the way back, but to be honest, she's not that tall right now, and later on, we might end up swapping out this motor and actually getting one that can fit this tank and maybe juicing up that thing a little bit, because I don't know how wore out this motor is. I know it runs good, and I know it sounds good, but we really haven't run this thing to see how much oil it's using or really got it hot enough to see if there's any weird noises or tinking or anything like that. There's the color. I really think she's going to like it. It turned out, pretty decent. It's not the best. It was cold the day I painted it, so it's got a little bit of cracking, but that'll be all right. I'm gonna go back over it, and I got to do the other side. I hadn't laid down the glitter or the clear coat yet. I'm gonna wait until I actually get this thing finished because I have a whole lot of work ahead of me to try to get this thing done, and I need to get it done, as quick as I can because it's coming up on next month. It's going to be their birthday party. I got the frame pretty much stripped down, cleaned. I need to take that flap disc to some areas on this to get some of that rust off. I'm not too worried about the areas that ain't covered in rust because I think that paint will do a nice job sticking if I just scuff it up enough. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much where I'm at. I wanted to give y'all an update because the next time you see this thing, it's going to be all put back together and you're going to see a big transformation out of this go-kart. Okay, guys, so I said I wasn't going to give any more updates until I got done, but I'm going to go ahead and give you one, so that way you can look over everything that I've already done and see what I just drained out of this motor over here. It don't look good. So I got every piece painted and starting to put it back together. I just took those old foot pedals right there and I just hit them with a wire wheel and shined them up a little bit, and they came out pretty good. I also think this paint came out pretty decent. I know it don't make no sense, but I'm not worried about cleaning up this motor. All this gunk that you see right here, I'll probably wipe off with a rag and end up putting that plate back on there that goes to the jack shaft. And, it'll just cover all that because later on, I really want to replace this motor. The gas tank I bought off Amazon does not work. This one was made for a Predator. It looked like it fit, so I thought it would, but it doesn't. So what I'm going to have to end up doing is I took these two pieces of angle iron right here. I just painted them white, and I'm going to drill some holes in them. And I'm going to lay one plate like this to hold the gas tank underneath here, and one like this just to give it a little bit of support, so that way it's just not the two studs and just the thin metal of the tank just back here flopping, because I'm going to have to put it backwards, so it's going to have to sit this way. And I already got, you know, the top part of the go-kart painted, the pieces that go to the headrest and the seat painted. I went with a dark metallic on it. And this is what I was saying, it didn't look too good. This is the oil that came out of that motor. I don't think that this motor was full of water, because if it was, it would have just poured out of the oil drain, and it didn't. So what I think this is raw gas. I think that carburetor that was on there just filled that motor plumb full of gas, and where it was leaking out the bowl, and it was just overfilling itself. And on top of that, this oil, I'm gonna say, is probably very, very old. It doesn't hurt the running of the motor, and I didn't hear no knocking or pinging, but I went ahead and got some oil back there to put back in it. It looks like it really didn't drain out a lot, so it didn't have much in it. I did try to check it, and it looked cleaner than what it did, but I'm guessing where I ran it, it just circulated all that junk up that was inside of there, and the oil was sitting on top. So I'm gonna get it changed. Ain't no big deal. Still runs good. We'll get this gas tank put on this motor, get that plate for the jack shaft put on here, get the motor put on here, and just start putting everything that I need to on here and getting this thing done. All right, guys, here it is. Clean it up with. Her nanny's gonna have my hide. Oh, hey! Well, guys, I figure that's about the end of the video. I still have that seat that I need to get reupholstered and put back on the go-kart before she can ever ride it. But I still have about a month to play around with before, you know, she gets to see it. So I'll have plenty of time. Tune in next time, and we're gonna be working on my son's mini bike. It once had an electric motor, and we're going to see if we can get a 98cc motor from Go Power Sports to fit underneath that thing and run and drive, and hopefully not be that dangerous. Is it going to be? Who knows? Who's going to test drive it? I don't know, because my hind end's too big to even fit on that thing. I'm not going to show a reveal in this video or in the next video with my sons. I'm going to do a video of itself just revealing the go-kart and the mini bike to them at their birthday party. I think they'll really enjoy it, and it'll give them something to do to stay out of my hair. That is, until it breaks down again. And I hope it don't happen. But anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all sticking around too. Finally made it over 500. Finally made it over 500 subscribers, and I just wanted to sit here and say thank you to each and every one of you. And everybody knows I'm going to thank the good Lord upstairs for me being able to do this. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, like, leave me a comment, smash that bell. Do whatever you can so that way more people can see this cornbread content that I'm trying to push out. And as always, we'll see y'all fellers later. Boy, how am I going to get this up? She is going to kill me.